Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
We are here to update you on a Tuesday.
That's right. It's Advanced Weekly Tuesday update.
We hope you didn't come on Labor Day yesterday. We hope you were resting if you had the day off.
That's right.
But we are here today, and David is here with us. Hi, David.
It's wonderful to be back. I feel like I haven't been on the show in so long.
Yeah, it's been a while. Welcome back. We're glad to have you back here with us.
Yeah,
and it's a beautiful Tuesday.
It is. You know, I wasn't here. Do they know where I was?
No, we didn't tell anybody.
Enjoying...
They thought you were on your second honeymoon.
Well,
is that right?
I kind of was. It was a second honeymoon with one of our children.
Okay.
And an all-expense-paid quarantine vacation.
All right. Those are the best. I don't know.
Free biendong per day.
Yeah.
Free internet.
Yes.
You know, I actually, this is relevant because it sort of felt like we were camping sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? Because we were living out of a suitcase. We were stuck in one room.
And why is that relevant? Because we're talking about glamping. Did you feel like you were glamping?
It was sort of, I mean, well, no. I felt like I was, you know, like stuck in one room for
glamping.
Over a week.
Glamping's fancy camping, in case
Fancy
you're wondering.
camping.
I think you guys probably know that. We're talking about that this week. And, yeah, I've never gone glamping. It's kind of expensive. What do you think about that? Have you been glamping before?
All right, so the word glamping, it's a really funny word because it was made up a couple years ago, probably sometime in the 2010s. But it comes from two words, glamour and camping. Glamour is like, it's something that's very glamorous. That means it's like very, you know, think about like the Academy Awards, the Oscars. How do people dress? They dress glamorously. Their makeup is done perfectly. They're very fancy. A glamorous hotel, there's like lights everywhere, and it looks very fancy and comfortable. So the word glamour and camping together equals really fancy, really comfortable camping.
Sometimes there are glamorous slaps at some of those awards.
There are some glamorous slaps.
We talked about that a few weeks ago. I just had to throw that in there. I don't think I would use that word in that context, but, you know, just trying to be a little punny, a little funny pun on the word there. Okay.
Glamping.
So, have you been glamping?
I have not been full glamping. I've gone camping with my wife before, and it was not glamping, but we stayed in like a little cottage, not a cottage, like it was like a small.
Where did you stay, David?
We stayed in, it was this little house, like a little cabin,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was nice, you know, but it wasn't full glamping, I would say, because when I think glamping, when I see some of the pictures of places where people are glamping, it's like they have, usually like when I think glamping, I think of those Mongolian yurts.
Yeah, right here, page 15.
Yes, on page 15, right? Those circular houses that are just really like, you know, they're temperature controlled and there's a refrigerator.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I don't know if you guys, you know, if you listen to the radio program coming up on Glamping this week, you'll learn how teacher Connie said she once thought of buying a yurt, like to live in Michigan.
Yes, I remember that.
So that's pretty interesting conversation. So be sure to stay tuned for that.
Yes.
I've never stayed in a yurt. I think I would like to. I've never been glamping. I almost went glamping when I was back in the U.S., but I didn't, so it doesn't count. But maybe one day. This kind of makes me want to do it. There's one thing I don't understand, David. Why is it so expensive?
Because it is an experience, right? You're paying for the experience of staying in nature, in the woods, but also in like a really nice hotel room.
Yeah.
You know, so it's actually in some cases more expensive than a hotel because it's like taking a hotel room and putting it in the woods.
I think it's a unique experience, right?
Yes, it's a unique experience.
Right, if it catches on more and more, maybe the prices will go down or maybe they won't. I don't know. Yeah. Probably not.
Probably
if they can
not.
Stay up there, they'll stay, right?
Yeah.
But it is a unique experience. I think that's why it's more expensive, but it's not for everybody, right? So we want to know what you guys think. We have a poll up that says, would you like to go glamping? And there are just two choices, yes or no.
Yes or no.
No in between. Right? Yes or no, would you like to go glamping? So you can take that throughout our broadcast today.
Now, okay, so the thing about glamping that I think is interesting is that there's this difference in the way that Americans think about camping and the way that I found a lot of Taiwanese think about camping. Like, I think that usually when Americans think about camping, you say the word camping, first thing that comes to mind, you have a tent, you're building a fire, you know, you're cooking hot dogs over the fire.
And there are mosquitoes.
And there are mosquitoes, right? And it's like there are some discomforts, but you're out in the open air, you can see the stars. It's that kind of idea. But a lot of times, and that kind of camping exists in Taiwan too, but a lot of times I've noticed that like camping in Taiwan comes with it's just more comfortable the way a lot of people think about it.
Yeah. Right.
Like I've gone camping with my wife, right? And we weren't glamping, but we, instead of cooking hot dogs over a fire, we had a little portable grill.
Oh, nice.
That ran on fire, and then we made hot pot, right? And we stayed in like a little house.
That's impressive.
And it wasn't that expensive. It wasn't like a glamping price. Yeah. And it was like a campground. There was an area. There was a little cafe.
You glamped it up, right? You made it a glamping experience.
It felt like we were, to me, it felt like glamping, but actually that was more like a normal family camping experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, well, that's one way to do it. I think that makes a lot of sense because then you don't have to pay the hefty price tag, right?
That's right.
So that is smart, my friend. Yeah. All right, so camping we've all done. Maybe you haven't. You just said you went camping. I've been camping. I've only been camping like 2 times in my life.
Okay,
which is kind of crazy. Once was when I was a teenager. Once here in Taiwan, I went up to Hohanshan. I've talked about that some, and that was like carrying a lot of stuff. And then we did camp in a tent. I think I slept for maybe 30 seconds the whole night. I don't know if I slept at all.
Oh, man.
So that was the true camping experience, I guess.
Yeah, that's real camping to me. Right? I went camping once in Glacier National Park in Montana with 2 of my buddies because we were doing a road trip around the U.S. I've talked about that on the radio some. And I remember that night very clearly because, number one, everybody was sick. By that point in the trip, we were not prepared. It was summer, so we didn't pack coats. But we were driving up to the mountains. Yeah. And once we got up there, it was snowing. It was cold. And we all got sick. And we were all huddled together in this tent without enough blankets. And we're all like sniffing and sneezing. And we were miserable.
That sounds delightful.
It was terrible, but it's still like a nice memory because, yeah, we were really uncomfortable, but we were together and we were all uncomfortable, and that's kind of like, you know, it sort of like gave us some
camaraderie. You weren't alone, right?
We weren't alone.
All right, so fabulous glamping destinations in Georgia. That is one of our topics this week, our adventure topic. We hope you check that out. We do have a question of the week for you. That will be coming up on the screen. As we put that up, let's take a look at it.
Yeah.
It is, do you like roughing it when you go on vacation? Now, let's explain roughing it. It's kind of actually there in the term. You could probably figure it out. But what does it mean to rough it?
It means that you are out away from the comforts of home, the comforts of modern life, and you're living in a way that is like apart from those modern kind of conveniences. You're sleeping in the tent. You're building your own fire. You're carrying all of your own gear out to some place where you have no cell phone reception, which is hard to find in Taiwan. You can get cell reception basically anywhere.
Always got to have your cell phone. All right. Well, it's nice. It's good for safety reasons at least, but maybe not for cutting off from society.
That's right.
So to rough it, when I thought of this question, I was like, well, does anybody really like to rough it? But then, we were talking about this before. I was like, some people, I guess, actually do, or at least like you have to like to that simple surroundings and like to be like cut off from society and just enjoying nature.
Yes.
I don't know if I would say yes to this question. Do I really like it? I do like the idea of being away from everything for a while.
For sure.
Not everybody in particular, but maybe getting away to a cabin somewhere, getting away into nature. I like that, but I don't. The older I get, the less I like to rough it. I'll put it that way.
Well, because if you're roughing it, you're not in a cabin. Yeah. You're probably just like sleeping on the ground.
I guess it depends on your definition of roughing it.
It depends on your definition of roughing it. It does. It does. Because it could go either way.
What about you? Do you like to rough it?
I think I like the idea of having a temporary time of solitude, you know, in the woods, maybe in a cabin, maybe even in a tent, you know, but like away from the bright lights and the noise and the speed, and just being able to just be kind of like, you know, hear the crickets at night, hear the wolves howling distant. Well, maybe not, because that would be really scary. But to get away from modern society for a little bit, I think would be okay. But I don't want to like rough it. I don't want to be rubbing sticks together to make a fire.
There you go.
You know, that's a little bit too rough.
Yeah. All right, so there's different levels. What about you? Let us know in the comments below. Before we go, let's take a quick look at the poll and see how you all voted.
It looked like, last time I saw, it looked like a lot of people.
There we go. 83% say they want to go.
Everybody wants to go glamping.
Yeah.
Everybody
Only
wants
17 say no way.
Yeah, well, tune in, because next week we'll be giving away a free glamping. No, we won't.
Really?
No, we will not.
Oh, just kidding. Gotcha.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Really, please remember, if you like what we do, subscribe to us. Let us know what you want to see more of. We are looking for active viewers, right? You know, we want to make content that you guys think is fun, is useful, and that you want to share with your friends and use in your daily life. So, speak up. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you want to see more of, and we'll do our best to make it happen.
Absolutely. So hit subscribe if you haven't already, and tell all your friends about it. We'll see you next time here on Advanced Weekly Update.
Dun, 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 dun.